morning, everyone. Welcome to the 4th Annual Youth Civic Engagement Symposium. My name is Mary Beulah, and I am the director of Erie Together, which is a countywide movement very focused on helping young people become successful adults. One thing that we know leads to success for both people and for places is civic engagement, or getting involved in your community. There are lots of ways to do that, by voting, volunteering, running for public office, or working within government. That's why we're partnering with Gannon University and U.S. Senator Pat Toomey's office to host today's event. Our goal is to help you better understand government, your community, and opportunities you have to get involved and make a difference. Today, we're expecting 180 students and 19 teachers from 12 different high schools. That's a lot of schools and a lot of people. So this year, we thought we'd take attendance and see which groups remembered to bring their school spirit with them. So when I call your school's name, make some noise so we know you're here and ready to roll. Okay, here we go. Corey. Erie Collegiate Academy. Erie High. Fairview. Fort LaBeouf. General McLean. Girard. Iroquois. Come on, Iroquois. McDowell. Northeast. All right. Perseus House Charter School of Excellence. And Union City. Very good. So by the sounds of things, I think we're going to have a pretty exciting day. And talk about exciting. This year, for the first year, we've retained cable access media to film the day so we can share the video with school districts afterwards. We were able to make this happen thanks to the generosity of National Fuel, who is covering these costs. We happen to have Nathan Coble and Carly Menino from National Fuel here with us today, and I'd like to ask them to please stand so we can thank them for their support. There they are in the back of the room. Thank you. Thanks, Nathan and Carly. Okay, so here's a little background about our Youth Civic Engagement Symposium. Each year, we host this event in recognition of Constitution Day, which commemorates the formation and signing of the U.S. Constitution by 39 men on September 17, 1787. We'll start the program with the welcome and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dr. Keith Taylor, president of Gannon University, which will be followed by a special video message for you from U.S. Senator Pat Toomey. Then we'll learn about the Constitution and freedom from attorney Peter Agresti, a Gannon professor, which will help us set the stage for the day. Once he's finished, we'll begin our travels around the city. You'll hear from elected and appointed officials and employees from federal, state, and local government, both before and after lunch, about their roles and their career paths, and you'll be able to ask them questions along the way. Over lunch, we'll have a panel discussion of state government officials sharing some of the state's top priorities impacting Erie County and roles young people can play in improving our community. You'll also hear from Erica Ramallo, Gannon's Director of Community and Government Relations, about the importance of voting and how to register to vote so you're ready when the time comes. Toward the end of the day, we'll come back here and get some real college advice from 2 Gannon University students in the Public Service and Global Affairs program, Randall Suter and Chloe Kernan. And then we'll wrap things up for the day, including a drawing for a Gannon summer camp that will go to one lucky winner. I want to wrap up by thanking Gannon University and Senator Pat Toomey's office for the time and effort they put in to make today's event a success. And on behalf of Erie Together and all the partners, we are very happy you're here, and we hope you enjoy the program as much as we've enjoyed putting it together for you. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Keith Taylor, president of Gannon University, to the podium. Dr. Taylor?
Good morning. I don't know if anybody noticed. Very early in her comment, she did a mic drop, but I don't think she recognized. Did you realize? There you go. That was supposed to be funny. My wife and my children tell me I'm not, and apparently they're right. It is good to have you all here. We need to start with the most important thing of the day. And so if you would all stand so we can together do the Pledge of Allegiance. And the flag is to your left. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. So, Youth Civic Engagement Symposium. Those three words, youth civic engagement never gets old. So the youth part, you're the youth part, I'm the old part. And I think it's fitting that you're here at Gannon University and you're talking about engagement in the community, and committing your life to making a difference and changing the community that you're in, whatever community that is today or might be in the future. And I think it's fitting in that Gannon's purpose is about transforming lives. So we talk about transforming the lives of the students, but the most important thing is not just about transforming the lives of the students, but it's about all of us being transformed in that educational process. But really, at the end of the day, it's about all of us being servants, all of us going out into the community and transforming the lives of others. So it's appropriate that you're here at Gannon's campus with a commitment to civic engagement, I think at a level that many institutions don't carry, and one that is our tradition since the beginning of Gannon's time back in the 1920s. We had events going on yesterday. We had Send Silence Packing. And I don't know if you're familiar with that national program, but it's a program around trying to make sure that we're all aware, connect us to the challenges around suicide and around the sense of need for belonging and need for connection. And the best way to do that is to get engaged, to get connected, and put yourself out there. So when we talk about Gannon as an educational institution and transforming lives, your life will not be transformed. You will not transform other people's lives unless you get involved, unless you get engaged. So I am really excited to have a group of youth of this size in this room this morning who've made the commitment that you want to learn more about civic engagement. You want to know more about what it means to be engaged, what it means to be connected, and what it means to make a difference in the world that you're in. A building away from here, another bunch of people, old like me, is our Board of Trustees. So we are in the midst of our Board of Trustees meetings. These are people from across the country that have made the decision to 4 times a year fly back to Erie, spend their money, their time to try and make a difference in this university because they believe that Gannon University is a place that is committed to changing our community and changing our world. Civic engagement isn't just a youth thing. It's not just a fad that you get going with now. It's something that becomes just part of who you are. And so I'm excited that you're here this morning taking a step. I'm sure it's not your first step, but taking a step towards truly engaging with your life, in your life, and making a difference in the lives of others. So this is a priceless opportunity for you. Take full advantage of it. Make sure that you find every opportunity to be transformed in the things that you do every day. But most importantly, remember, our lives are really in service to others. And that's what civic engagement is all about. It's engaging and being informed and understanding the issues so that you can make an impact in the right direction in trying to move yourselves, your community, this country, and the world forward. So I'm glad to have you all here today. And there's a group of people that are here that are supports for U.S. Senator Patrick Toomey. And he has been a tremendous supporter of civic engagement and has been doing his part as an individual and a senator to try and make a difference in this country. And so it's my privilege to introduce this video of Senator Toomey, and let's listen to what he has to share.
Hi, I'm Senator Pat Toomey. I'm sorry I can't be with you today, but I want to welcome you to the 2019 Youth Civic Engagement Symposium. Every year my office puts together symposiums like this one in observance of Constitution Day. And these symposiums provide students with a first-hand look at how the Constitution and its framers intended our government to operate. At the same time, we're encouraging students to be involved at all levels of government. I really appreciate the work of the many hosts that worked with my office to organize today's event, and I want to thank all the elected officials, the teachers, and the volunteers, and everybody who worked and has been willing to participate in this event. Most of all, I want to thank the students who are here today in order to learn more about how government works, not just at the federal level, but also at the state and local levels. Have a great day and enjoy the symposium.
Thank you. So I will echo the thanks to your teachers and your mentors and the people that are here with you today and those that are going to help you through this path not only today but going forward. And we have somebody here to talk to you that is a tremendous Gannon faculty member who has taken the time to be here with you today, and I hope you will take the time to listen carefully to what Attorney Peter Agresti, who is an instructor in our legal studies program, has to say. I encourage you to take him as a fine example of what the Gannon faculty are about. I know later today you're going to hear from a couple of Gannon students, and I welcome you back anytime to hear the great things that are happening at the university, but more importantly, to get engaged, to get involved, to do the work that needs to be done to move our community forward. So thanks again for all that you are doing, for being here today, for having the heart for civic engagement. And Peter Agresti, without further ado, come on to the stage.
There we go. Good morning, everybody. I got a couple there. That's good. Did not hear from Mr. Barber. Thought I wouldn't notice, but I did. Happy Constitution Day. It is encouraging to see you guys all here, willing to be engaged for this, honestly. You guys are the future. So it's exciting to see you're taking an active role in this. You're going to be hearing from a lot of dynamic speakers today. Politicians at multiple different levels, the mayor's here, judges, you're going over to the courthouse. Me, I'm on that list. Probably. I'm on the list. But it's exciting. I actually teach a constitutional law class at Gannon. It's actually one of the best classes I teach, one of my favorites. And we get to talk about these constitutional issues. We get to have these class discussions. We have people from multiple different backgrounds that are looking at the Constitution in different ways. So I see that same kind of interest with you guys being here, and I can appreciate that. I still, every once in a while, get the odd student out, though, who doesn't quite see the Constitution as that interesting. I might see him come in on advising day, and they hear that I teach the constitutional law class, and I get the constitutional law, the feigned interest. I know what they're up to. I smell it out. And now listen, the class isn't for everybody. We all have different career paths. But I always like to touch on, if I sense that they're not interested, why? What isn't doing it for you? Why aren't you interested? And 9 times out of 10, I get the same response. The Constitution, it's not exciting. It's been around forever, right? It's old. Doesn't do it for me. Aha, I say, you have fallen into my trap, because that is exactly why I think the Constitution is so interesting. It's a document that's over 200 years old, approaching 250, okay? That we're still looking at today, that is still guiding us today, that we're still nitpicking and arguing over today. That's pretty amazing, right? They put this thing together, they're wearing powdered wigs, they're not even really sure what blood does in our bodies yet. That's the document we're still looking at today. It's impressive. And really, when we look back on that, we can start to ask questions like, how is it held up? Why? And that's interesting. That's fun to be able to discuss. It's not like it's Dave and Buster's fun, but scholastic fun, as good as I can get in the classroom. I enjoy talking about that stuff. So hopefully you guys will have that interest too. And really, if you boil it down to its nuts and bolts, if we look at when the Constitution first came together, a lot of it was compromise. We had 13 different states going 13 different directions with all different priorities. They all wanted something out of that Constitution. It was tough to get everyone to the table. We see differences today when we talk about the Constitution. Differences in interpretation, right? There are some that see the Constitution as a living, breathing document that can change depending on what era we're living in society. There are some that say, no, the Constitution should be interpreted, through a more static look. That we should be looking at the language, a very meticulous look. There are some still that say we should look to what the founders intended the Constitution to be to guide us. A lot of differences then and today. What I urge you guys to focus on, though, especially in the spirit of Constitution Day today, is what brought everyone together. And I think that linchpin could be this idea of freedom inherent in the Constitution. That we want to move away from the tyranny of a king or a tyrannical government. We want to see that freedom as the lifeblood of our society. And it's been a rocky road, I'm sure you guys know through your history classes, right? We have a checkered past with that. In a lot of ways, that freedom was pretty hypocritical when we first started talking about it. But that drum kept beating on, and that drum became the heartbeat of our nation that we have today. How the Constitution begins, we the people, that's the idea behind it. That the Constitution is only as good as all of us coming together. And I think that's what makes it so special. And that's what can unite us. It united us then, it can unite us today. It's so easy to pick out our differences today, and partisanship. And we're coming from different backgrounds and we're looking at things differently. Focus on what brings us together, right? Freedom and the ideas of freedom. I think another great byproduct of the system that was implemented back then, away from tyranny, would be the proliferation of state and local governments too, which I think is important, some room to grow, right, as the nation grew. But you're going to be hearing from a lot of very influential people today, a lot of very successful people on those levels. Soak it up. Listen to what they have to say. Heed their advice, right? What classes did they take? What jobs, what paths? Internships, networking events. This is a great start, by the way. This is a great first step in that networking journey. But how did they get where they needed to go? Because maybe some of you want to go there. And I bet some of you in this room are going to have those positions in a couple years. Maybe even a handful of you will be speaking at an event like this in a couple years, and nothing would make me happier. Nothing would put a bigger smile on my face than to see that. At the end of the day, it's we the people that make up this country. And as I said before, you are the future. So we're all in this together. We're all under the Constitution. We all have that shared commitment to freedom. And you guys are going to have to ensure that. But that being said, if you're the future, I think you're a pretty safe bet. Thank you, guys. Enjoy today.
Thank you so much, Attorney Agresti. That was very wonderful, and I hope you really took that to heart. We the people make up this country, and you're the future, and we are so happy to have you here today to start taking part in this kind of effort.